The dirt rose around her, the inescapable sand of an hourglass as her final breath of air slipped her into the twilight of consciousness. Gossamer white of bone was now visible beneath the tattered meat of her fingertips as Emily clawed madly at the wooden slats of her coffin. Until...
Please let me out.
I wanted to begin by asking you, how familiar were you with Edgar Allan Poe and his work before, being a part of this project?
I knew a little bit about his work, but I didn't know as much as I know now. And I didn't know about his roguish lifestyle and his ribald sense of humor and his alcoholism and how much of a bad boy he was, really. I didn't know that. But I also knew the kind of tone of what he was writing about. I knew that he was writing about basically what we have nightmares about.
Yeah. Well, and obviously this is a fictional story, the film, but did that inform you at all? Did it inform maybe the way you acted with John in those scenes?
Well, yeah, because the whole film is sort of very cleverly woven around the stories that he wrote and the things that he imagined, and they all feed into the visual narrative and, the love story and being buried alive and being cut in half, and all that stuff is laid down in his work.
You mentioned being buried alive. As an actress, what was it like to do those scenes? I mean, did you become claustrophobic at all? Was it...
When I read the script, that was part of the reason I wanted to do the film, because I thought that, to have a character that's presented with such strength at the beginning and such sort of the equal to the male love interest, and how are you going to undercut that? Because we have to have a journey, and, it was kind of beautifully unexpected for me that she actually goes through a truly harrowing experience. It's not just like she's tied up and left to weep for a week in a castle. She's like buried alive and has to fight her way out. So she gets to be a bit of a hero herself. So that was cool for me to see it sort of subverted once and then subverted again.
Oh, interesting. And you've picked that up in the script when you first read it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You have a lot of period wardrobe that you're wearing in the film. Does that help you sort of create the characters, help you get into...
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, wearing the costume and doing the makeup and having those discussions and working out the hair and designing the look is all very much part of building the person, because what we present to the world is what their first impression is, and so we definitely do think about it, I think, in life, and it gets you there. And especially with the period clothes, wearing the costume like that, it all makes it.
Yeah, and with the location, I imagine it really helps you sort of set the tone and the feel for this time period.
Yeah, I mean, Serbia felt like the old days. It was an incredible city, Belgrade, and it has all that kind of... Well, it was also the bleak midwinter, so we were in the middle of this ancient city in the bleak midwinter, making a dark, twisted story about the old days. So it kind of perfectly fit.
Yeah. Tell me about working with John and sort of his process as an actor, and what maybe you learned from him from working with him on this.
I learned a lot from John, and he's got a very collaborative process. He's very interested in talking and discussing and breaking it down and unpacking everything, and as was I, and I was willing and able to do that, and I learned a lot from that. And with the director as well, with James, we all kind of broke it down, and I also learned how, he's very committed to his project, so if he gives himself to a movie, he'll be there from beginning to end. And the end doesn't come yet. With the movie, you go, it's a couple of years.
Yeah, so he really gave his all to this project. Excellent. You can see it on the screen.
I'll send you to hell! No matter how this ends, I will kill him.